So, yes, it's going 300 miles per hour, 20 degrees south of west, but as it's doing that, how many miles per hour is it going west and how many miles per hour is it going south? We can figure out these two distances right here using trig. Because this is a right triangle, right? So we could say the sine of 20 equals y over 300, right? So sine of 20 equals y over 300. So y equals, I'll need some help there. And how will we figure out the horizontal part?
Anything but that. Put the pencil down.
Cosine, there you go.
Have someone else do it for you.
Cosine of 20 would be x over 300.
Sine of 20 is 102.6.
This is what?
102.6.
102.6?
Yep.
And how about x?
281.9.
281.9.
Thanks, Bryce.
Okay? So, everybody okay with how we did that? Okay? So, this is the vertical component of the vector because that represents how far vertically this vector is changing as we go from where it starts to where it ends. And this is your horizontal component. And you'll be asked to write that as an ordered pair. Okay? Now one thing you got to be careful of here, okay? When we write it as an ordered pair, don't forget your negatives and positives. In this case, both x and y will be negative. Okay? So this is what your answer would look like as an ordered pair. You don't use parentheses.
Changing everything we know is done.
I know. Right? They're basically, pointed parentheses. All right? This is the way we describe a vector using its horizontal and vertical components. Here's what it's saying. This vector, listen to this, guys, okay? The vector, as we go from where it starts to where it ends, is going negative 281.9 in the x direction and negative 102.6 in the y direction. This is basically saying how far in the x direction it's going and how far in the y direction it's going as it goes from where it started to where it ended up. Very important to kind of understand that thought process there. Okay? When you see a vector as an ordered pair, it's telling you how far it's going in the x direction and how far it's going in the y direction from its starting point to its ending point. So if you would see a vector that said 4, 3, if you would see a vector that said 4, 3, which direction is it going to be headed roughly?
Northeast.
Okay? Up there, right? Up into the first quadrant? You guys follow that? Okay? And then you could draw it, of course. You could make a right triangle and draw 4, 3. Okay? So you guys understand that. When you see a vector as an ordered pair, understand it's telling you how far it's going in the x direction, comma, how far it's going in the y direction. Leanna?
And you know it's a vector
By the pointed parentheses or whatever the right name is, those. Yeah. Get
So
the
it's
idea.
like everything from trig, just kind of by a different name.
Yes. Yeah, and it relates very much to trig. Yep. Okay? All right. Any questions on that? Okay.
Get it down.
All right, you pause it.